Character of Caliban. This point is about the language of Caliban. Though Caliban is called as ignorant, doesn't know how to speak, he is described as a person who is taught language by Prospero, and all negative qualities that Prospero can attach to Caliban has been done. But there are lines in the play which portray that Caliban is really very intelligent. He has a poetic language. For example, in Act 3, I quote a line, listen to it. I'll send you the lines, listen to it. This island is full of noises, sound, and sweet air that give delight and hurt not. Sometime 1,000 dangling instruments will hum about my ears, and sometime voices that if I had then walked up from long sleep will make me go to sleep again, and then in dreaming the cloud methought would drop open and show riches, ready to drop me again. When I waked up, I cried to dream again. You don't have to know all the lines. You can quote one line that Caliban is talking about 1,000 musical instrument, dreaming, and then thinking about riches. And there are many other examples to prove that Caliban's language is very poetic. Even when he abuses, there's a very poetry in it. For example, the way he curses Prospero has a poetry attached to it. Now, the allegation of Prospero that Caliban is inferior, I taught him language, I gave him civilization, I gave him training, I gave him the knowledge of the world, is half true, because a man who can speak this language is not actually completely illiterate, because it needs some kind of poetic bent of mind to speak in this kind of language. So this blame of white man on the black people that they are totally illiterate is in itself a stereotype belief. One black man may be like Caliban, but they're painting all natives with the same color. This is nothing but stereotyping a character. So Caliban's language is just contradictory to the statement that Prospero has said about Caliban. It's so poetic, so enriched, so well arranged. You might say that Prospero taught in language, true, but the usage of language is your own. Somebody might teach you some words and some sentence construction, but if you write poetry, it is not just the word with which you could create poetry, it is your emotional being that creates poetry. So many students in your class know how to write, but they don't become poet. Just because you know ABCD does not justify you can become Mahasweta Devi. So to become Mahasweta Devi, you need poetic bent of mind. I'm not saying Caliban is an accomplished poet, but I'm saying there's a poetry in him, and that poetry in him makes him special, and that makes us doubt the allegation of Prospero. It is a white man's allegation on a black person, which is not free from its own bias quality. So this point is that Caliban, though is described in a negative words, but still has poetic qualities in him.